Welcome back, folks, to Gaelic Park here in Chicago for our second senior game on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Uh, Bank holiday weekend at home in Ireland, so I'm hoping that you're all having a nice time, relaxing, maybe out in the pub having a few pints or whatever. Either way, I hope you're having a nice weekend. I know the weather is beautiful back there as it is here. We have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Lovely and sunny, not too hot, so it's perfect, ideal conditions for football. And our second senior game is between the Wolf Tones and the McBrides. So it's going to be an exciting encounter, I'm sure. Two very good teams, and anxious to get a victory this evening. So very similar jerseys, yeah. And the McBrides have those black jerseys on. So anyway, Alan Coyle down in front of us here, manager of the McBrides, along with the Doc. Patrick Chambers down there as well. Good buddy of my nephew, Kieran Moylan. Kieran sent me a video. I don't think his mother or father would be too proud of him. The state he was in, himself and Jack Conlon, in Tulse today, having a few drinks. So a big welcome and a hello to all the boys back there in Tulse. The ball is up by Martin Delaney and the game is on. And straight away the Tones gain possession through Jack Duggan. Jack gives a pass, but it's misdirected, and the McBrides retain possession, and they get it back through Jason Matthews. Ball across the far side of the field to Annie McGowan for the McBrides. Is a nice pass, beautiful pass across James Doran. James now going right through the heart of the Tones defence. Gives a kick in low over on this side of the field, and that is gone high and it's gone over the bar. Beautiful score for Mike Kelly. Mike has distinguished himself by wearing a different top to everybody else, but nonetheless, Mike is one of the great stalwarts of the McBride Football Club, and he's a great old servant and a great old character, great fella. Was chatting him for a minute beforehand, and hopefully we'll be having chats again afterwards. So 1 point to no score in favour of the McBrides. And we have a injury concern down here under us, and looks like it might be a bit of a dislocated finger or something like that for Conor Garrity. And there's going to be a sub brought on for Conor. Owen McConaughey is coming on, and Mike Kelly gets a regular jersey. So we're all back in tune. The Tones then go on the attack, and once again that pass goes astray. It's picked up there in the half-back line by TJ Byrne. TJ now lays it off over this side of the field, and eventually it comes to John O'Donoghue. Lovely ball in towards the corner forward there, number 13, Harry Ladd. Harry Ladd, it sounds like a bookmaker. Ball is left off. James Doran. James now gives it inside. Oh, great save by the goalkeeper, but eventually it's finished at the back of the net by James Doran, but a great save by the goalkeeper. There's an injury in there. I think Harry Ladd actually got a wallop there, and he's down, and he's looking for attention. So I see Kevin Brady is in there, umpire, Dr. Brady. Hopefully he's okay. Martin Delaney is over there, and Alan Coyle making his way over. Thankfully, Harry is up on his feet and he's good to continue. And Harry acts the bollocks there now. He kicked the ball off the tee. Now, Harry. I see Mel Dermody out there as well. And referee is having a word with Harry. Harry wasn't that badly injured after all. Yeah. Harry with the orange boots. But anyways, on we go with the kick out. Patrick Dunnigan in goal for the Tones, kicks the ball out. The Tones get it, and it's Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan now raiding up the middle of the field, but he's horsed off the ball, and he's deemed to have fouled his man. Fouled John O'Donoghue. McBrides take the quick free. Ball is kicked in long there towards Harry. Harry, I hardly knew you. Failed to keep the ball in play anyways, and it's going to be a line ball to the Tones way down in their own full back line. It's kicked across to Patrick Dunnigan. Patrick now, big lad, in goal for the Tones today. Lays it off to Ronan Orford. Ronan gives it back to the goalie, and it comes eventually out towards Jake Crispin, and Jake lays it off to Sean Gavin. Sean now gives it off to the 7, Ulton Herney. Ulton from Roscommon, from the Clonagale club in Roscommon, who are going well at the moment, but Ulton decided to come out to Chicago for the summer, and he's very, very welcome. And that's a lovely score from the Tones. And Danny Dixon puts that one over the bar. But yeah, Ulton Herney is out here for the summer, so it's a great addition to the Tones and indeed to the Chicago football in general. Great to see good players, good county players coming out like that. Anyway, the McBrides go on the attack. Harry has it again. Harry lad. Harry off the right foot. And this time it drifts to the right and it goes wide. So, another wide for the McBrides. Quick kick out taken. And the Tones come on the attack once again. Sean Gavin gives it back inside to Declan Kelly. Declan gives a nice long ball down to Danny Dixon. Danny now lays it off to his cornerback, Ronan Orford. Ronan gives a sort of a 50-50 ball, and it's intercepted there by the McBride's defence, and the McBrides come away with it once again. Mike Kelly out there in the middle of the field, lays it off, and Jason Matthews, the red head, crossing his own 45, lays it off. Joe Gardner. Joe now lays it back. James O'Donoghue. And we're joined here by a very big celebrity here in Chicago, the one and only Nicholas Lynn. Nicholas here of Lanigan's fame. If you're ever coming to Chicago, go to Lanigan's. Here comes the McBrides though. Number 13 has it, and he fisted high. Oh Jesus, he fisted wide. Oh, that's a desperate miss. Harry Ladd again. Harry Ladd, he's like a bookie, Nicky. He's like a bookie. He's some lad. You're welcome, Nicholas.
Look at Mary Redmond. In fairness, nobody puts a word out for Mary. Mary's the real thing behind the GA here. She's the camera woman. She's the whole lot, and she's looking very beautiful today.
Mary always looks beautiful, Nicholas. Absolutely. The opposite to yourself. You always look horrific. You'll be better in the morning, I think, than you are in the afternoon. It's hard to know. But anyways, Nicky.
Hold on, Quinn, you lost about 5 pounds in 6 weeks, so you're now a male model, is it?
I am. I've joined the fraternity of male models, and that's another horrific wide by the McBrides. High and wide. Their score remains 1 goal and a point to the McBrides, a point to the Tones. So, Nicky, you were down with poor old Paul Riley, making a life a misery for him. How was he today? How was life in the embassy?
Paul Riley was doing well. Kildare man, they lost again, of course, obviously. But he's doing good. He's doing good. Yeah. If you're ever downtown in Chicago, Paul Riley's Embassy is a good bar, like Lanigan's Pub. But anyway, back to Mary. Mary is she's the institution behind this whole organisation of Gaelic Park. By the way, Gaelic Park needs to spend a few dollars in water here because the pitch looks very, very.
Never mind the pitch, Nicky. We're under severe drought as well. They need to spend some money getting us some sort of water as well. Anyway, that's a great save by the goalkeeper. The Tones were almost in there for a goal, and it was saved on the line by Paul Higgins, the McBride's goalkeeper. Eventually, the ball breaks out over into the half-back line, and the Tones, or the McBride's come away with it. TJ Byrne over there on the far side gives the ball across this side of the field to the half-back, Andy McGowan. Andy looks up, gives a nice pass, and that's a free, and it's against Declan Kelly. There's a judge to have fouled the number 10 there, Joe Gardner, for the McBrides. So it's a free into the McBrides, in or around the halfway line. Decides to go backwards with it, back to the halfback, TJ Byrne. TJ has been another stalwart, no more than Mike Kelly, for this McBride's team for the past number of years. He lays it off, and it comes to Andy McGowan once again. Andy gives and goes, and ball comes across this side of the field into the number 4, Martin Kerr. Martin now loses possession, and the Tones break at pace, and it's, oh Jesus, he soloed it straight to the McBrides man, and the number 20, Owen McCaig, gets it, and the referee says, hold on boys, that's going to be a free, and it's going to be a free down to the Tones. Judge to have high tackled the Tones lad there, and it's going to be a free into the Tones. But anyways, Nicholas, what do you think of Gaelic Park? Looking great so far this year. It's looking forward to another great summer.
Absolutely, and you see Fitzy there, an all-star of the GA in Chicago. He's a linesman, but he seems to be standing in the same spot all the time. I don't know what he's at, but and the McBrides seem to be looking for sponsors, because they're just wearing black shirts there. It's like it's like a morgue or something. I don't know what's going on there, but
I think Lanigan's will have to sponsor them.
No, we won't. But yeah, it's a beautiful day,
beautiful scenery. Nice eye candy.
There's a little bit of eye candy, yes, Quinn. You're too old now, in fairness to you. Maybe you need to shed a few pounds more, and then maybe you'll be in the market for. Yeah. By the way, people around the world that's listening here, John Quinn, 52 years old, and his dress attire isn't great, in fairness, but his personality is good, and he's looking for a woman. In fairness, anybody, if you'll get $10, we'll fight a free bucket at Lanigan's. If any of you decide fancy your chance, like no, I was going to say he's handsome, he's not that. But in fairness to him, like, he has a personality.
That's enough out of you, Nicky, now for another couple of weeks. Shut your mouth. As Geraldine Godfrey would say, shut your mouth and eat your dinner. And hello to Geraldine and to Jerry and to Maureen all the way back there in Ballyhonus out in Brickens. Hope you're all listening in. If you're not, somebody tell them I said hello. But anyway, we'll give you a shout tomorrow. Here come the Tones anyway on the attack. And it's Callum Fahy. Callum, the number 9, my old mate from Tulsk, lays it off, and it's dropped into the goalkeeper's hands. The goalkeeper comes out with it. Paul Higgins does well, gives it out to his cornerback, Dylan Reynolds. Dylan now looks up, beats his man, comes across his own 21, gives it off there to the number 4, Martin Kerr. Martin gives a lovely ball up along this side of the field, up to the centre half forward, James O'Donoghue. James O'Donoghue, another famous name there, used to play football with Kerry one time. Tipped the Rossies to beat Dublin, almost got it right there last weekend, but the Rossies came good today. They won by 10 points against Sligo. It's going to set up a grandstand finish in all these group games. As I said before, it's going to be exciting in 2 weeks' time. So here comes the Tones out on the far side of the field with Rory Flynn. Rory Flynn now gives a long ball over the far side to his full-back, his rating forward, Sean Ryan. Sean turns around, gives it back to his cornerback, Ronan Orford. Ronan now gives it in to the number 10, Declan Kelly. Declan looks around for support, gives it back again to Sean Ryan. Sean gives it to Ulton Herney. Ulton, the Roscommon midfielder, playing left half back for the Tones today. Big addition to the Tones. Can't say enough for the old Rossies. Fair play to them. Ulton Herney once again gives a lovely ball across into Callum Fahy. Callum gives it to Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan. Back it comes again to Brendan Kelly. Brendan, and here comes the goalkeeper. And the goalie, Patrick puts it straight over the bar. Patrick Dunnigan. Jesus Christ almighty, what's the goalkeeper doing up there? But anyway, he gets a point. Nicky, what do you think of that play?
Seriously, you are like slow internet in fairness. You're way behind the fucking... But that's okay. You're doing a great job in fairness too. The goalkeeper now is on this shite in Chicago, yeah?
Yes. Well, that's the way it goes, Nicky, now. Ulton Herney gets possession and is deemed to be fouled by two McBride's boys. Ulton takes it short to Sean Ryan. Yeah, that's part and parcel of the game now. The goalkeeper is an outfield player nowadays, Nicky. So it's...
we don't always agree with it now, John, do we? We don't always agree with it, but it is part of it.
It's part of it. It's like everything. As the man says, when well, I won't say what, it was just not right. But anyways, it's 1-2 to 2 points in favour of the McBrides. McBrides are up by a goal, and they have a free out on the far side of the field. The ball is kicked back in towards the goalkeeper, Paul Higgins. Paul Higgins gives it out on this side of the field to Ross McKee, and Ross now looks up, and totally unmarked is Jason Matthews. Jason gives a long probing ball in towards Mike Kelly, but the Tones defence holds firm, and out comes the number 5 with it, Sean Gavin. Sean now lays it off, but that's a terrible pass, and it's easily intercepted there by Joe Gardner. Joe Gardner now for the McBrides gives a nice pass inside into his midfield partner, James Dordan. James now looks up, gives a nice pass to Andy McGowan. Andy McGowan now gives it back again to James Dordan. James Dordan is right through and back of the net, straight into the back of the net there. He ran through the Tones defence, and that's a terrible goal really from a Tones point of view, but a great goal from the McBrides. He ran hard and fast at the Tones defence, and they just simply weren't able to deal with it, Nicky.
Yeah, that was absolutely terrible defended by the Tones. But another little point I want to make is that John Quinn is on a big fitness gig at the moment. He's on ultra light. Ultra light, he's shed a pound. But he's doing well though. Now back to John Quinn.
Well, you're a fucking arsehole if there was ever one. Sorry for the language. Anyways, here comes the Tones. Right in on goal number 12. And it's a brilliant save by Paul Higgins. Great save by Paul Higgins there, as Sean Gavin was right through on goal. And Paul Higgins came out, made himself big, and saved it. Saved that shot. It wasn't a great shot, in fairness. It was lacking power, but it was saved really well by Paul Higgins, and eventually it went out off the Tones lads, and it results in a wide ball, and it's kicked out by Paul Higgins. Paul picks out his fullback Sean Ryan, Dylan Reynolds on the far side of the field, and Dylan is fouled and takes the free quickly. And eventually the ball comes over here to Andy McGowan. Andy McGowan now sets the McBrides off again, and they're leading here by 2-2 to 2 points. 8 points to 2. Nice crossfield ball all the way over there to Harry Ladd. Harry Ladd, the bookie. I'm going to call him the bookie. He lays it off, and it's a lovely score there by Mick Lavin, or was it Tony Gill? I'm not sure. Mick Lavin, I think it was, that gets that score for the McBrides. Lovely score, and once again, it's 2 goals and 3 points to the McBrides, and 2 points to the Tones. So it's 9 points to 2, 7-point lead for the McBrides. They're playing the most enterprising football, and they're looking really dangerous. Here they come again, and they're right through on goal once again. Here it comes, and over the bar, blazed over the bar there by Andy McGowan. Andy McGowan, the number 5, the half-back for the McBrides. Great chance once again for goal, but decided to take the point. And Nicky, the Tones look wide open at the back.
It's at the moment, yeah, it's early in the game, yeah. But I see Doc down there on the sideline. He seems to be very. Annie, where's my drink? I don't drink any.
Make one sound in honor of our beautiful host Mary, and for all you ladies and gentlemen
Yes,
out there,
the
you have to-
crash
you
the
have to
can.
listen to
Listen,
this.
listen.
Oh,
Ah.
what a lovely sound.
And in fairness, last year Quinn was here drinking Amstel, and in fairness to him, now he's gone to Ultra. And it hasn't. He's drinking Ultra now, and it doesn't make any difference. I don't know. It's not just.
Yes, thank you again, Nicholas. We'll talk to you in about 3 years' time. Today's today's broadcast is sponsored, of course, by Guinness. Thank you to Guinness. Thanks to Annie Redmond. And yeah, you sell Guinness, but you're not promoting them, but so you're done. So thanks to Annie and thanks to Guinness for sponsoring today's broadcast. Here comes the McBrides once again. Lovely ball in. Mike Kelly has it now, number 17. The old head on big shoulders here. Mike turns round, takes his time, nice and easy, lays it off beautifully to TJ Byrne. TJ crossfield to Andy McGowan. Andy McGowan now to James Dordan. James Dordan right through the heart of the Tones defence. Gets the ball back and kicks it right footed, and it's straight over the bar. Great score by James Dordan. Beautiful score once again by the McBrides. And they put this lead out once again to 2-5 to 2 points. 11 points to 2. 9 points the difference. Nicky, it's not looking good for the Tones. They're looking a little ring rusty.
Well, it's very early in the season, so they probably haven't half their team assembled yet. So, but I want to throw out something to Guinness because I'm a die-hard Guinness drinker. So we want to thank Guinness for their sponsorship, and Annie Redmond, one of the all-time greats of Chicago GA and our system area, obviously. But now we go back to the play, and we have.
Yeah, back again. Yeah, so much for your publicity. Thank you, Nicholas. And that was a point for the Tones. They are kicked over. Oh, absolutely. I'll get to that in a few minutes. That was a nice score kicked by Danny Dixon, I think, for the Tones. It's 2-5 to 3 points, 11 points to 3. But here comes Andy McGowan again for the McBrides. Andy sends it into Harry Ladd. Harry with the orange boots. And the bookie has it. Oh, it's blocked down really well there, though, by the Tones defence and Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan gives it to Jake Rispin. Jake, lovely ball. Here comes the Tones now in acres of space. And Danny Dixon has it. Danny with another pair of fluorescent boots on him. I never seen anything like them in my life. The Lord Almighty save us. He gives it off to the number 12 to Brendan Kelly. Brendan now turns and twists and turns again and gets it onto his left foot. And he kicks it high and he kicks it over the bar. I think the referee says yes and the umpire says yes. Is Brian McMahon the umpire down there? Where is he? Oh, he's here beside us. Brian McMahon, one of the most famous Clare men of all time, is here beside us, and he's going to be a very proud man next Sunday when Clare take on Limerick in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. You had a good day today, Brian is right. Now, hold on now, folks. We're going to have a quick word here with one of the biggest Clare men in the country.
He is the biggest Clare man. He's about 300 pounds.
But it's a compliment. Oh, yeah. Look at John. Look at. You can say what you like.
Goal for the McBrides once again. Sorry, Brian, I had to cut across you there. A really well orchestrated move there by the McBrides. Beautiful slick passing. 3 passes straight into the full forward line, and it's straight into the back of the net by Andy McGowan. A beautiful score, and it puts it out to 3 goals and 5 points to 4 points. That's 14 points to 4. 10-point lead back to Brian McMahon. Sorry, Brian, for interrupting you.
John, do you see the way the game is going? Like, you think these 2 points that are more important than the last 2 points of the season? Like, I mean, you got to look at it like that. I mean, I don't know how many injuries are out there, but Jesus, Tones are absolutely getting lambasted every place in the field. Like, a little bit like Galway today in the minor hurling. But I tell you, no, not a lot of people know that I'm from Clare. You know, I try to keep my where I'm from, you know, very quiet. Like, I mean, in all honesty, like, you know, I people have to ask me where I'm from when they meet me. Like,
I normally think that you're a fucking sumo wrestler from fucking Japan or something, but that's okay.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way at all now. We keep it nice and conny here now. We keep it nice and conny. But no, Sunday, yeah. Look at lads, anyone that's listening from Clare, I won't be at home next weekend. I am actually going to be watching the game in Las Vegas. And the last time I was there, in 1997, we pulled an All-Ireland out of it. So, hey lads, just keep it going at home.
You're the lucky chairman, Brian, obviously.
Oh, definitely look charmed there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I was at home now, and I only got on the field. I only got to the game against Tipperary, and we got lambasted there. A couple of scuttery goals that went in us, but that's all right. But I was really hoping, we're really hoping that Tipperary could do the job. But of course, there again, soft hurlers again, beaten by Waterford. Well, we will.
Number 9.
But we will show them the short grass in the Gaelic grounds.
Number 5 sends it to the left and.
Quick word, Brian. Give us a prediction score-wise next week. What's it going to be?
Oh, there's a pint or two in it, either way.
Couple of pints, and obviously, as far as you're concerned, the banner is going to do it.
I would hope so, John. Yeah, I would hope.
Good.
It's not that anything is ever deserved, but it'll be well earned.
Well earned is right. Brian, we'll talk to you again at half time. One of the greatest Clare men of all time, Bear Tom Mack, I'd say. Bear, this man's brother, Pat McMahon. There was 3 McMahons out here one time years and years ago, and you had great nicknames on yourselves, but anyways, we'll leave that for later. But one of the greatest characters of all time, one of the greatest sets of brothers of all time, and anybody that's listening in Clare, you should be proud of them. They're good fellas, they're great crack, and they add something. They add something to the life out here, that's for sure. Here comes the Tones again, out on the far side of the field. Jay Crispin now gives it off, looks inside and gives it across the field to Declan Kelly. Declan Kelly now, the number 10 for the Tones. It's 3-6 to 4 points. That's in anyone's money. That is 15 points to 4. It's an 11-point lead for the McBrides, and the McBrides are on top pretty much in every department of the field so far. The Tones are really struggling to get to the pace of this game. Ultan Herney gives it across. Oh, jeez, that was a great chance for a goal, but Callum Fahy put the foot on it, and
that
it's gone
was 2
wide.
Roscommon men, of course, that fucked it up.
2 Roscommon, 2 Rossies
Callum
combined.
Fahy and what's his name?
Ultan Herney. Clonagale man.
Clonagale.
I have to say that Nicky today, even though you do hate us with a passion, being a Ballyhonest man or a Ballinasloe man, that Roscommon done really well today, I thought, in the second half.
He beat Sligo.
We beat Sligo, yes, a Division 4 team, but I thought in the second half, I thought that Roscommon responded really well and closed out the game professionally. I think it was a professional performance.
John, I want to ask you one question about this catch, whatever.
The mark.
The mark. Do you agree with it?
No. There was an example today, actually, above in Donegal. Donegal were playing Derry today, and at one stage...
Hold on, you better commentate on this goal
here comes Harry Ladd on the left foot.
Oh, he's some lad, he missed
Jesus.
it wide. Jesus. Went to the right and went
Harry
wide.
puts it, no, he put it over the bar. Jesus, I thought that was wide.
Do you think it was...
Brady
There's
has
4 of
flagged
us here. There's 4 of us here, and
Yeah,
there was...
I think Brady could do with another pair of glasses there, but anyways, it's over the
Francie
bar.
Brady, shut up. He's as blind as a badass.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Francie Brady.
Francie
has,
Brady, that was wide.
Yeah, he flagged it. But anyways, going back to today's championship, the mark situation. There was a situation today where Conall Gallen, lovely footballer for Donegal, great footballer, a man of the match I thought today actually for Donegal. A ball was kicked into him and he just caught it. He got 2 yards in front of his man, 30 yards out, caught the ball, gets a mark, and it's a free point. And I mean, the Derry defence were very mean today, and it's a ridiculous, in a tight situation, I think in tight games, I think it's a stupid rule. You're given a point to a team for really doing nothing.
McBrides are on the run again here. Yeah,
McBrides are coming again. But I don't, long story short, Nicholas, I don't agree with the mark. I think it's a stupid rule.
It's
I think
the game of football.
It does. But the GAA have also other things to look at.
Oh, they have a lot of issues, in fairness. It only took them 120, and I hope I would be well known and to say, but I'm not actually. But it only took them 125 years to fuck the whole thing up, in fairness.
Well, there you go. But they have a lot of issues to iron out, there's no doubt about it. One of those issues, of course, is this. we heard an awful lot about it last week with Roscommon. When they produced a great performance to draw against Dublin. A lot of people were criticising Roscommon for holding on to the ball.
The McBrides are on the run, number 8.
McBride's, Gary Owen, straight up in the air.
Yes.
Well caught there by Harry Ladd again, onto his right foot
he's
this
some
time.
lad on again.
Oh, Jesus, wide again.
Well, then it's
wide again.
It's the umpire, so maybe it was a point.
He's looking at the referee saying, Jesus, I thought that was over, but I'm afraid, Harry, that's a poor bet there.
Prediction for the championship.
Now we're back to Brian
back to the All Ireland. I mean, could you pick a team that will win
in which
Sam Maguire this year? Pick a team.
So let me finish my point about Roscommon. So there was plenty of chit chat about Roscommon's performance last week, about the defensive setup, about the lateral play, about the passing back,
parking the bus,
whatever you want to say. But Roscommon went to Dublin with a plan. And when you were playing a game against a team like Dublin, you need a plan. Roscommon went with a plan. Tones are coming again.
Kick into number.
Ultan Herney has gone into the full forward line. It's broke down. It comes across this side of the field. Callum Fahey to full forward into the back of the net. It's a goal. It's a goal. Cathal Finnegan scores it. A goal for the Tones. And that was a well-worked goal, in fairness. Ultan Herney goes into the full forward line, gets possession, lays it off to Callum Fahey.
Goal!
And it's in the back of the net. It's a goal for the Tones, 1-4 to 3-7. McBride's come on the attack once again. Tones needed that score badly. James O'Donoghue gives it off to his midfield partner, Jason Matthews, onto James Doran. James gives it in towards Harry Ladd, but Harry is pulled down. But to finish my point about Roscommon, Nicky, I think that somebody made a great statement about, the way that Roscommon played. I didn't think that was a great game of football. I thought the first half was terrible. The second half was better. But I think Roscommon done what they had to do. And this whole debate about lateral movement and lateral pass, and somebody made a great statement, and it said something like this, that we praise soccer teams week in, week out for holding on to the ball and passing the ball over and back, and we think it's great. But then when a Gaelic football team does it, it's terrible, it's garbage, it's shite, or whatever. And it's talk about two-tiered double standards. People need to realise, there's a lot at stake in these games. Teams do what they have to do to win these games. And, so don't,
Jake Rispin's on this. Oh, he's after losing.
Anyway, on we go. Jake Rispin for the Tones. He fights like a tiger. He gets it. And here comes the Tones again, out of defence. And lovely ball in there. Ultan Herney almost connected with that. But Paul Gardner was alive to it in the McBride's goal. And the McBrides come out with it. And eventually Andy McGowan gets it and lays it off to James Doran, and off to his midfielder partner Jason Matthews. Here comes Harry Ladd, Harry the Lad again. The bookie has it, tackled by two Tones boys, but Harry retains possession and eventually lays it off to Mike Kelly to Andy McGowan, the number 5, gives it inside into the full forward line. Heavy tackle there on the number 20, Owen McCaig. Owen gives it back outside. Almost touched it on the ground, but the referee says no, it's okay. But eventually the ball is kicked up. James O'Donoghue kicks it high off his left boot, and it goes to the left and it goes wide. And I think the referee has called for the ball, and it's going to be half time. And at half time here in Chicago Gaelic Park, after a very eventful first half with lots of scores and lots of goals, it's 3 goals and 8 points to the McBrides, which is 17 points, and 1-4 to the Tones, which is 7. So a 10-point lead at half time for the McBrides. So it's a dominant performance so far, Nicholas.
Very dominant, but I mean it's only half time, and it's the first game of the season, and they don't all. Teams don't have their full panel, so it's just it's like the GA in Ireland. They're kind of shadow boxing at the moment, so it's not really.
Yeah, that term again, shadow boxing. Yeah,
it's not exactly.
Speaking about shadow boxing there,
Speaking of Shadowbox, who's that? Who's Shadowbox now? But they're shadow. They don't have the full teams yet, so it's very hard to.
It's hard to put it together because teams are finding their feet and they're finding their players and players' positions and all that.
We're going to ask Mary Redmond, who is part of the GA. We're going to ask her a question. Mary, when is the cut-off for people coming out to Chicago?
July 1st.
Well, July 1st is the.
So this is a big debate within the GEA fraternity. I know that in 2 weeks' time we will have ascertained who's going to.
That's a big word.
That's
there,
a big
John.
word.
That's
I learned that off. I learned that off a solicitor at home. When he was ascertaining how much I owe the taxman. But
that's why you're out here, right?
Yeah, but he. So the big debate in football, of course, with regards to players coming out here, is, as you said, when the cut-off point is. It's the 1st of July, the last date that players can come out. So in 2 weeks' time, on the 17th, I think the weekend of the 17th, we've got a round of games, which is the final group games. So then
in Ireland,
for the senior championship.
Right.
So then we'll know who is who's in and who's out. So you're going to have 4 teams exiting the senior championship in 2 weeks' time.
But is it, in fairness, and John, you do a lot of podcasts and I said it to you a few times that you should do a podcast on the GAA, but you haven't. But
yeah.
I think that there's 24 games. Is it 24 games? And there's only 4 teams knocked out. What do you think of that? I mean,
I think it's ridiculous. I think there should be 2 teams qualifying out of each group straight into a quarter-final situation. I think this preliminary stuff is ridiculous. I think it's nonsense. I think there should be 2 teams qualifying out of each group, and it would make games more meaningful. I think now what you have is teams vying. The stronger teams are vying for top position in the groups,
right?
AKA like Dublin and Roscommon, for example, in Group 3, AKA Galway and Armagh and Tyrone in Group 2, AKA Mayo and Kerry in Group 1, and Derry and whoever is Donegal, Clare and Monaghan.
I think
in Group 4.
The Galway group is a prime example. That would have been a great battle between, we'll say, you have Galway, Armagh and Tyrone. That would have been a great battle between the 3 of them to see who would advance to the
right.
But now you put, and I'm not knocking Westmeath because fair play to Westmeath, they're being competitive in all their games. But it would have make a great battle between the 3 of them to see, or if the 4 of them would say to see who would get into the top 2. Would have been a great battle. It would bring people to the games to watch.
Right.
Now it's just kind of, now it's not competitive, because even though it won't bring crowds to games because it's not, you have one team that's not, and I shouldn't use Westmeath because in fairness to Westmeath they have been very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it doesn't bring in the crowd. Like we'll say if I'm just using Galway because of the Sunny group I know. But I mean, if that was a competitive to 2 teams, it would bring people to games because it would end up in a kind of a knockout situation.
There's another problem as well, and you're sort of getting to it. Is the fact that there's too much of a safety net. It's the
same point.
It was it's exactly the same point, and I think it was touted at the beginning of this whole championship setup that teams could get beaten 4 or 5 times. I think you could get beaten 5 times and still appear in an All-Ireland final.
I would disagree with 5 points, but it's definitely
4 times anyway. I mean, you could get beaten in your provincial. You could lose 2 of your group games. I mean, it's stupid. That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense. I think there has to be a knockout element to it. I think they have to take away the safety net of almost backdoor games. I think you've got to put teams on the spot. and you've got to run it in a shorter time frame. We
A
spoke.
longer time frame, no, not a shorter time.
Well, I think.
Hold on, Brian McMahon.
You got Tall Team Cup there now. Look at that game yesterday between Meath and Down. Now, there was a lot of people at that match and there was a lot of noise. But that wasn't championship. That wasn't for Sam Maguire.
That was still
That was
competitive.
absolutely savage competitive.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, everybody be shocked, and we're all shocked that Meath are in that group. But that's the way it is. That's the
Yeah.
way it's set up.
Yeah.
You're not playing earlier on in the year.
But that's
You're
fine.
Not playing
And
proper, that's fine. But actually, when you saw the way that they played yesterday, and that score that Dottie McGowan scored to win that game, they invaded the pitch.
Yeah.
So that's needed in the G as well. We
Yeah.
can keep knocking.
yeah,
it
but
and
you have to
keep
have
keeping
competitive.
and everything like that.
That's fine, but you have to have. You can't have you can't have a safety system where you have to have a competitive. The way that that third team coming in is then you have the situation. I know what they're saying about this game or you have to have a game that's competitive. You can't have someone.
For instance, that group 4. No, we could have all put money to Clare were not going to make out of it. They didn't play well enough in the championship. They played great in the league. They only lost to Kildare by a point. They should have beaten Dublin.
Mhm.
But that's the league.
Yeah.
Now, we knew Monaghan were going to get through. We knew Derry were going to get through. It was a toss of a kind. They played Donegal in this. They should have beaten Donegal in this.
Yeah. They let that game
was
slip in
their
the second
game,
half.
The
Yeah.
way so that was the toss of a coin.
Folks, I'm just looking out onto the park here, and there's a young fella that's after hitting the ball. He's about 2 years old, and that's early one thing. Look at that. That is unbelievable.
That's the future.
Great to see it.
So
It is great to
But
see.
go on, Brian.
Sorry.
I never
Go on.
thought the GA, they're trying to tweak things. I understand, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
What?
things need to change. Because I mean, the GA is in big trouble.
Yeah.
We have to know that rugby and soccer are taking over.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
They need to get their act together. We know that.
Yeah, and I think sooner rather than later, I think the provincial system is broken. I think that
I only want a headshot now. I don't.
I think
Well, you wouldn't fit in the fucking thing anyway, otherwise.
you'd
so-
be lucky to get a headshot. I think the provincial system is broken. I think the quicker that they go back to a situation in the championship where it's almost knockout,
Well,
you
you're
know,
not
the
gonna have knockout
way
anymore.
it used to be.
But you're not going to go there.
You know, it's
Well,
not gonna happen.
but I think it'll have to go that way because you're putting too much of a strain on players. The way that the thing is set up now, of course, players will say, "Look, we want to play more games," but like it's like asking a sick patient to diagnose themselves. They won't recognise what the real problem is. It should be
man
less
Quinn, that was
games. It should be less
classic.
games, and it should be more intensity.
I didn't know whether to come all the
I-
way. I'll go back down again.
I was scared at the bottom row.
Brian,
I saw
any,
nails coming up through the block.
Brian, any chance you'd go up? Mary Redmond's having a Miller Lite, and I'm having that Waka or whatever the fuck it's called.
Mary,
And-
I
and
told you
ultra.
only a headshot.
Like Quinn drinking Ultra,
I can't sit down.
Brian drinking Ultra.
Anyway,
In fairness
we-
to Mary,
thi-
you're
this
my face.
great to meet you, Brian.
Hold on,
By the way,
the game is
Just to all you Clare people out there who are listening, we had a fantastic day today. Not just in Hurling, but here in Gaelic Park. We had our 35th annual special day for special kids, and it was phenomenal. So anyone that's listening, anyone that was here this morning, kudos to you, all your support and your dedication, and all the great fundraising that great people do. You're a credit to this town, you're a credit to your county, and you're a credit to the families. God bless.
Well done. Thank you, Brian.
done, Brian, well
That's
done, well done.
very well said. And
I'll give you an Uber to see.
now, will you be a
There you
credit
go.
and go up and buy us a drink?
thanks to Brian McMahon for joining us here in the booth at half time and giving us his opinions on Gaelic games and everything else. Oh, change.
So, John,
Thank you.
John, in fairness,
Um,
let's go back to the football at the moment.
Um,
John, seriously, in your opinion, what do you think of Roscommon's chances?
I think
where do you see coming in the championship?
I think Roscommon, they've impressed
They're all
me.
outside here.
They've really impressed me. I listened to Davy Burke today after the Sligo game. I was very impressed with what Davy said, his remarks. He was posed the question by Michael Murphy, what has he done differently with Roscommon, to improve them or, to make them more consistent in performance levels. And he simply said, we have 41, 42 players at training every Tuesday night. And he said every one of them have bought into this.
They bought into his system.
They've bought into the system. They've bought into it. And he said, we don't go out with the same system every day. He said, we vary it a little bit and we throw different things dependent on our opposition. And
so he is doing that. He's not parking the bus in every game.
No. And that's what impressed me about him. I think he's not a one-trick pony. I think Roscommon bring a little bit of dynamism to their game. I think they'll bring something different to each opposition.
Whatever opposition they're playing, they play
to suit them.
Suit the game.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Which you would have to do.
Right,
so
because a lot of teams.
As
I
for
have to go back now to
if you ask me what's a good year for Roscommon this year, I would say an appearance in an All-Ireland semi-final. If here comes Ultan Herney, another great save by Paul Higgins.
Typical Roscommon man, he misses it. We'll go back to it, John Quinn here.
Great save by Paul Higgins. Ultan Herney clean through again and a great opportunity for a goal, but the McBride's goalkeeper makes a great save, and Jay Crispin there pulls the jersey of James Dordan, and it's going to be a free down to the McBrides. But on that point, Nicky, I think Roscommon a great year. I think they've had a very good year this year.
Would a semi-final be a
semi-final would be a great result for Roscommon. I think that would be a real building block for a team like Roscommon, who have cemented their place in Division 1, and they have become a solid Division 1 team, I believe. And I think a semi-final would be a wonderful result for Roscommon.
Mary's giving us directions now, our director here, so I think she wants us to commentate.
Yeah, exactly. We want to talk about the football here, not about the football 4,500 miles away.
Carlow football, she might, or hurling or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
In fairness, congratulations to Carlow on winning the McDonagh Cups. And Freaker Fitzpatrick was one of the stars from wing back number 5.
Well done to Fiacre.
And fair play to Mary, the most unsung hero of Chicago GA.
That's right. Yeah.
But now back to the fucking. By the way, I ain't no scruffy, so I'm not. I'm just you for one day.
A one-day wonder.
I'm fired.
That's a point for the McBrides.
Fitzy down there. Fitzy, no beer.
Point for the McBrides there. 1-4 to 3-9. 18 points to 7. 11 points the difference now.
It's the first time I've ever seen the linesman having a beer in the world of sport.
Yeah, you could see Anton here. Ball is kicked in long, in towards Ultan Herney, but the McBride's defence deal with it. And eventually the ball comes out across to James Dordan. Once again, James has been very busy in this game so far. Fumbles the ball but manages to tidy it up, and ball is passed out here to TJ Byrne, and TJ wins a free for himself and gives it back towards Joe Gardner. Joe gives it to his full back Dylan Reynolds. Dylan to JP Byrne. Dylan gets it back, gives a nice floated ball, but it's going to go over the head of the McBride's lad there. John O'Donoghue, Jay Crispin wins it. And here comes the Tones once again. Sean Ryan goes through, gives it off, gives a nice ball. Ultan Herney once again. The Clonagale man gives it inside. Oh, Jesus, rattles the upright there.
Another Roscommon sad story, it rattles the post.
Cathal Finnegan. He tests the metal of the left-hand upright here in Gaelic Park, and the ball goes out and goes.
I want to give a call out to my sister-in-law, Bernie Len that there was a die-hard Roscommon
Absolutely.
supporter. And, well,
A big hello to Bernie and to Tom back there. Fair play to Bernie when I went home with this arsehole last year. She cooked breakfast for me. Beautiful Irish breakfast. And Tom, oh, great score. Nicholas, give us your impression, your best impression of Micheál O'Mara-Hertig. I know Micheál is listening in at some stage today.
Micheál is he's about 90, 91, 92, 93. I'd say he's 93 at the moment. But the ball drops out. It's gone. He has the ball. He drives it to the number 10. Who's the number 10, Gwen? Who's the number 10?
Declan Kelly.
Declan Kelly. Kelly from Galway. He's on the side on it.
On the back of the net.
A goal.
Cathal Finnegan finishes at the back of the net.
Where's Finnegan from?
Finnegan is the boy from Killaan. He's from Roscommon, another Roscommon boy.
Roscommon. His great-grandfather was from where? Roscommon.
Well, that was some impersonation of poor old Micheál.
It wasn't great.
Micheál,
Fitzy, will you move?
Micheál, if you're listening in, I apologise profusely for taking your name in vain. I'll make it up to you sometime. I'll buy you a cup of tea. I know you don't drink, but anyways.
I met him in 1991 at the races, and he says, Nick Loss, what? I said, Micheál, what are you doing? He said, Nick Loss, I'll have a shock sauce.
A shock sauce.
A shock sauce.
A 7-Up.
A 7-Up. And he says, do you know the great John Quinn? I says, I don't know John Quinn at all.
Oh, Lord.
But again, back to Mary Redmond, she's kind of pissed with us now.
Ball is kicked out and it's caught in the middle of the field by the McBride's boys. And here they come on the attack again. James Jordan, the number 8, the evergreen number 8, Andy McGowan. This flyer from the half-back line from the number 5, going straight through the Tones defence, goes over onto his right foot, kicks it high, and over the bar. It says, yes, over the bar, says the umpire. Another point for the McBrides, and that brings it to 3 goals and 12 points, which is 21 points to the Tones, 2 goals and 4, which is 10. So it's 11 points, the difference. About halfway through this second half. Here comes the Tones again. Ball passed inside. Rory Flynn.
That's a
poor wide is right. There's a bit of handbags going on there between Declan Kelly and Ross Markey. Quick kick out taken. The McBrides win it. But the Tones turn it over. Jake Rispin.
Jake Rispin, come on.
Jake has it, gives it to Ulton Harney. Offloads it.
I would actually love to know what number Ulton Harney is, because I don't think you've mentioned him in every fucking play, so I don't think I think it's just because he's from Roscommon you're using his name. So actually, what number is he?
Nicky, you have to recognise talent first before you can talk about
Bag of Bones number 7. Remember that? Old Mad Jack and Bag of Bones number 7. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, he has it. Number
Kick
7
out
has
taken
it
once again. That's a well executed mark in the middle of the field.
Joke.
Owen McCaig takes it in the middle of the field and he gives it off. That's a foul there on TJ Byrne. TJ gives it in, but it's misdirected. And Sean Ryan comes out with it for the Tones. He gives it off to Ronan Orford. Ronan now gives it off once again to Rory Flynn. Rory gives it outside. Callum gives a desperate pass and it's easily intercepted. Callum, you want to kick where the sun doesn't shine for giving a pass like that.
Is that Callum Fahy from Tulsk?
That's Callum from Lismurta in Tulsk.
Lismurta in Tulsk.
Yeah. The one and only.
Little fancy footballer, but does he get it done on the day?
Well, we'll see now. We'll see. He's getting his chance. There's a sub coming in on the McBride's side. Number 14, Mark Lavin, is coming in. We'll let you know who's going off. Of course, Nicky, the Tones have a new manager, of course, this year. Trevor Kane of ex-Meath Stardom, junior All-Ireland winner with County Meath and senior footballer with Meath back in the 80s. Trevor.
Sorry, I'm not very up person. So Trevor is the manager. Mr. Kane.
Mr. Kane is the manager.
In fairness to Mr. Kane, he's probably the most famous English GAA. He has won multiple Chicago finals with Tones. In fairness to him, he's kind of a legend. He's a legend at golf too, a Masters champion.
That's right.
And
Won the first major of the season there 2 weeks ago.
Roy.
Yeah, seriously. Number 9 is off.
Mary's bitching at us again.
Jason-
Number 9 come off.
Jason Matthews is off and replaced by Mark Lavin. So the McBrides come on the attack once again, and over the far side of the field there, it's Mark Lavin straight onto the field, gets onto possession, gives it inside to Harry Ladd. Harry back to Mark. The goalkeeper comes and just gets his fingertips to it. Sean Ryan collects it, the fullback for the Tones, and does well actually. Clears the ball out quickly. Callum Fahy now, the man from Lismurta in Tulsk, gets the ball over the far side of the field, gives a nice foot pass over towards Ronan Orford. Ronan now gives it outside this side of the field to Declan Kelly. Declan, oh jeez, that's a desperate pass, Declan.
The goalkeeper is standing in the middle of the field, so he's has to run back.
Yeah, they're bringing up extra men now and everything. Here comes the sub once again, Mark Lavin. And he gives it into the bookie. Harry Ladd. Harry now. Harry now gets it onto the right foot. And Harry kicks it beautifully
Absolutely over the bar. He is some lad, he is.
The referee is... It looks like it was a point, but the referee is... Martin Delaney is saying no.
What would a leashman know about anything?
It's wide anyway. No such thing as Hawkeye here. You
only
wouldn't
two
want to be...
Hawkeyes are here when half drunk.
You wouldn't want to be Hawkeye.
We thought it was over the bar, anyway. Even Mary Redmond here, the great...
oh, Jesus.
The woman on the
Cat
camera.
Melodian.
That was disgraceful.
Anyways, the Tones come away with it. The score 3-12 to 2-4. 21 points to 10. 11 points. The McBrides lead the senior championship game
That's
by...
about the same amount of points you're going to drink tonight, Quinn. Yeah?
And that's debatable now, Nicholas. On we go with the game. The Tones on the attack. Out this side of the field with Rory Flynn. Rory Flynn now, the goalkeeper, is up in the attack as well. Rory gets the ball back. Declan Kelly on this side is looking for the return pass, but Rory decides to go on his own, and Rory kicks it over the bar. Haran Trasnon is right. Agus Tá Aon Foint
we're stuck with that bit of
Gaelic
there.
Aaron Tones and Ish.
We'll never be commentating for TJ Carr anytime
No,
soon.
I'd say jobs with TJ Carr are safe as long as we're around anyways, that's for sure. We can't put two words Irish together, never mind one.
Maybe the John and
Anyway,
Gosling
here
might get a
we
job
go
with them,
again. And the McBride's on the attack. And James Dordan gives a low ball in towards Harry Ladd again. Harry the bookie is on the prowl. Oh, he put it over the bar, but Martin Delaney says, hold on, there's going to be a free. And it's going to be a free into the McBrides on the 21. So it's going to be another score, surely. So 3-12 to 2-5. 11 points to 21. 10 points the margin, but... surely going to be another point, I feel here, Nicky, for the McBrides.
What is the situation here? We'll say the Tones win today. Does it really lose today? Does it really mean anything? How many games?
Not really. I mean, it's a round robin. It's a league system initially.
Same as in Ireland.
Yeah, so it's not.
It's no pressure on them. If
No,
they lose
I mean it's not detrimental if they lose today.
That's a
but,
great word there, Quinn.
I think if later on in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be more important to win your game. So
the
I think
first
these
game is not very important.
Yeah, I think these games is sort of feeling each other out, and it's not crucial, but nonetheless, it's nice to get into a winning habit. Goalkeeper Patrick Dunnigan down on the ground. Mike Kelly on top of him.
Where's Patrick Dunnigan from?
I think he's an Offaly man.
He's not. Did he play a few years ago?
I don't think so, Nicky. I think this is a different man altogether.
It's a different Patrick
You're
Donegan.
thinking of a different book. Oh, quick free kick taken, and it's gone straight in. Goalkeeper caught off his line. Patrick Donegan caught off his line, and quick thinking there from the McBride's boys, and it's chipped him straight over
a bit of a calamity
the goalkeeper's head and into the back of the net.
It's okay. He'll recover in the next few weeks, hopefully.
He'd want to. 4-13 to 2-5. And it's turning into a bit of a rout here for the Tones. 25 points to 11. 14 points the difference.
I don't see John Conroy hanging around today. Do you see him?
I'm sure he's here someplace. I'm
Now
sure
listen,
he's
listen high
now.
listen.
Yeah, Roscommon Construction, one of the greatest characters around
The
Chicago.
stalwarts of the Tone.
No doubt about it. Himself and Inder Raftery and Dermot Raftery and Porrick Raftery and Joe Conroy and all those Tones boys. They're
Why you
stalwarts.
mentioned, in fairness, the Tones are like a 70-year-old organisation. You mentioned all Tones people. Why is that?
Well,
Why are you
I
so,
mean,
like,
we can't
there's
help
a
it
lot
if
of people like the Rogerses and all these people from down and all around the country. And you're kind of claiming it. What do you mean by that? Mr.
well, we
Green?
can't help it now if we're at the front and centre of activity. I'm after getting a text message from Martin Morrissey. He says they're feeling each other out. I love it. Yeah, by Jesus Morrissey. Many's the time you.
Never felt out was the old ones. But anyway, hope the wife is not listening to that.
Many's the time you felt it out is right. I was telling a funny story about Martin Morrissey the other day, and the ball goes in long here actually in towards the Tones full forward. Here comes Cahill Finnegan. Cahill now kicks it low.
He must be from Roscommon. He blasted him on.
And straight over the bar.
Great
Straight
ball.
over the bar. But a good story about Martin Morrissey. One time, myself, yourself, Nicky, and Tom O'Donnell was playing golf. O'Donnell hit a ball down the left-hand side of the fairway. It was, as they say out here, it was fall time of the year, autumn time. There was leaves on the ground, and O'Donnell couldn't find his ball. And I says, Jesus, I says, isn't that a sight? We can't find it. And O'Donnell says, Jesus Christ almighty, it's a bastard. And Morrissey says, come on, Tom, you won't find that ball. And I says to Morrissey, how do you know he won't find it? Because it's in my pocket. Morrissey had picked up his ball and put it in his pocket. But anyway, on we go with the game here, and it's a free into the Tones. The cornerback, Kieran McCarrick is fouled there. Actually, it's going to be a throw ball, and the Tones win it anyway. Away they come with the ball. Danny Dixon. Danny now with the orange fluorescent boots goes in along the end line, and Martin Delaney says you carried it too far. Unfortunately, that attack comes to nothing.
Referee here, and we can't get suspended, can we? Surely, we can't like. All right,
nothing is impossible, Nicky.
One of our backroom staff said we can't say anything about the referee, so he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
So then the McBrides have it in their own half-back line. Ball comes out along this side of the field to Mike Kelly. The evergreen Mike Kelly. Still playing away for the McBrides. Andy McGowan takes it. Full of running this lad. He gives it off to the full forward, Mark Lavin, who brought on here in the second half. And he's fouled down there by Sean Ryan. Andy McGowan takes the free quick. Gets the return pass, and here goes Andy, straight through and straight over the bar. Lovely score there from Andy McGowan. Another nice score for the McBrides, and they're really in control of this game now, Nicky. They're leading by 26 points to 12.
So, John, seriously, you are a man of great talent, in fairness. How are you going to take like 5 women around Ireland? And,
very simply, in a car.
well, a car won't fit 5 women, so I don't think a car was going to get the job done. No,
my good friend in Innocent, County Clare, is furnishing me with a people carrier. Lovely ball across. Here comes the Tones, and it's in the back of the net. In the back of the net, Harry Dixon, Danny Dixon. Danny Dixon, a lovely ball in from Ulton Herney. The Clonagale man gave a lovely ball in there,
I'd
and
say Oldham
Danny
Harney wasn't
Dixon
even there, but you were still saying he had the ball.
finished it into the back of the net. Nicky, don't be jealous. We all can't be from Roscommon. Beautiful goal there by the Tones. 3-6 to 4-14. Puts a bit more respectability on the scoreboard. 15 points to 26. 11 points the difference. Here comes the Tones again. And that's a pull back on the Tones midfielder there, Jack Duggan. And it's going to be a free into the Tones. Cathal Finnegan is going to take this. Puts it down on the deck. Referee Martin Delaney is having a word with James Dordan. Every time I look at the team sheets here, I have to move cans out of my way to see people's names. It's the damnedest of all time. Surely Micheál O'Hare didn't have to do things like this.
And Micheál O'Hare, they never drank. So he's drinking Guinness, by the way. Anyway.
Point for the Tones there. 3 goals and 7 points to 4 goals and 14. Martin Delaney has gone in to have a word with the goalkeeper. Yeah, he's probably telling him where he's going for a drink afterwards.
I know Martin, he's not buying it, so
yeah. Here comes the Tone again. Jack Duggan. Jack Duggan was his name.
Come back on here.
Oh, mother of God above in heaven.
Dog's bollocks.
Oh, that was Cat. Melogian. Oh, that was Cat. And in fairness,
HR is after shutting
Nicky,
me down here. I'd say I'm gone
Nicky,
from
I don't agree with you often, but I think you were right there. Anyways, that's for sure. Mike Kelly gets it from the quick kick out, lays it off
here,
and here comes Jason Dordan once again, man of the match for me from the second half. For the McBrides, gives a lovely ball in, nicely bouncing in front of the number 15 there, Tony Gill. Tony now gets the ball back. Tony with the fluorescent boots is a big thing nowadays in the Gaelic football.
He has a fluorescent boot, right? Because it went about 40 yards
I think
wide.
he should change the fluorescent boots to black boots or any colour boots, but anything but that. Out comes the ball quickly, and it was the goalkeeper Patrick Dunnigan. Out on his own 45, gives the ball off fast to Callum Fahy. Callum gives it across. And Jack Duggan, nice long ball in towards Ultan Harney, but Ultan says, I think he thrown his hat at it.
He couldn't even, that fucker couldn't catch a cold. John, what's Ultan Harney? What's his profile?
Ultan is a top-class footballer with the Clonagale club in East Roscommon. Famous club around Athlone, yeah. And he's been playing with Roscommon senior footballers for probably the last 5 or 6 years, and decided to take a year out and decided to come out to this wonderful state of Illinois to sample the American dream that myself and yourself have experienced over the past couple of decades. I mean, Chicago has become such a wonderful place purely because of your presence here, Nicky. I mean, you have brought so much sunlight and sunshine to people's lives.
In fairness, that is my
and if you think I'm being serious, you must be absolutely joking.
Why didn't you just let it go like that? Like, come on.
No, I am joking. No, you're such a bubbly character, Nicky. You're a wonderful personality. I mean, you know, you're just fantastic. You know, oh my God.
Redmond's just here and just puked and topped me when he said that. So. As your long-suffering girlfriend does say, you know, what a ray of sunshine he is. Ball is kicked out. Here comes the Tones once again. The ball is kicked in towards Finnegan once again. Finnegan off the left foot. Kicks it high, looping, but it goes to the left and it goes wide once again. John Quinn and I couldn't in the morning yourself kick a cow's after the shovel. But in fairness, like the standard of football today is not very good.
Not good. But again, I'll reiterate what I said earlier on. These games early in the season are feeling each other out. I think it's going to be another couple of weeks before you see the real.
You've been feeling people out for years and you still got nothing. So, I mean, how is that season going to...
Yeah, I'm not playing football though. But I think it's going to be another couple of weeks before you see the real talent coming to the top. Yeah, absolutely. I think players need time to get bedded into this 13-a-side system. The smaller field, the heat, the humidity, you know.
And
So it's
wide. Oh, no, that was a point.
and that's a good score. That's a nice point.
And there's Francie Brady, the
Yeah, from
umpire, one of the
Ballintover.
all-time legends.
Yeah, of Chicago GA, no doubt about
Tie
it.
up your daughters, granddaughters,
Oh,
and
God
whatever
help
else, but that's he's still a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. Another shout out. I have to give Nikki, and you know this woman, Anne Sheeran. I don't know if she's watching in today, but her son Brian got married out in Italy during the week, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. And so a big shout out to all Sheerans, to Brian, his lovely wife Rachel, to his mom Anne, his dad Noel, his brother Niall, and hope you have a great... I know they had a big night last night in Tulsk, so a big shout out to
Oh,
them.
that's fair. And in fairness to Anne Sheeran, she's one of the all-time... She's probably the greatest person that ever came out of Tulsk, and that not too many people came out of Tulsk that was any good anyway.
That's for sure.
Fair play to you, and
No,
fair play to you.
And that's absolutely right. I know Nikki, you stayed with her in her B&B years ago, and
I
had a
walked
great
her
time.
home, actually, in fairness.
Absolutely, walked her home, yeah, and had a great time. But Anne is one of the great characters of Tulsk Village, and Noel, her husband, teacher for years, wonderful character, great friend of mine, and you know, lovely couple. And all the best to Brian and Rachel on their marriage in Italy, and all the best to both of you for your future life together. So
Quinn
well
is
done.
actually so cocky that he thinks that people in Ireland are listening to him, which is a very, which is very good in fairness to you.
No,
I love your confidence.
I'm just an eternal optimist, Nicky.
There's probably two people low in the bog cutting turf, and they're, oh, listen to Quinn.
No, this is going out to a huge audience. There's no doubt about it.
Well, the only thing huge about the audience is yourself now, in fairness. But fair play, yeah.
3-9 to 4-14 is the score so far. So the McBrides still very much in the ascendancy, but the Tones coming into this game more and more, and that's a great score. Great score from out the far side of the field. And I think it might have been Sean Ryan, the full-back, that kicked that off his left foot. That was a wonderful score. 3-10 to 4-14. The lead has been cut ever so slightly back to 7 points. 19 points to 26. So 7-point lead for the McBrides. And we have a player down with some cramp in the middle of the field. But in fairness to the Tones, they have come back in the second half, and they've shown a bit of character, and they've shown a bit of fight, and made a game of it. So hats off to them. Once again, of course, you know, these are early days in the Chicago Championship, and it's all about feeling each other out, I suppose. There'll be more interesting showdowns later in the campaign. Jack Duggan there competing for the ball, and the linesman said it's going to be a line ball to the McBrides, and Ross Markey there winning the line ball for the McBrides, and it's going to be taken here by James Dordan, and he gives it in. Aidan Cosgrove, who's fouled. High challenge there on Aidan Cosgrove by the Tones lads, and it's going to be free down to the McBrides with about 2 or 3 minutes left. Martin Delaney comes over to and there's a bit of horseplay going on down in the corner here, and a bit of a melee down in the corner here, but I think it's hopefully the officials will calm it down. It seems to have blown itself out. So hopefully the players will cop onto themselves and see sense. Nobody wants to see that sort of stuff going on a GA field. So I think play will resume with a free down to the McBrides, and with a couple of minutes left, 19 points to 26, 7 points the difference, and the McBrides, as I said, in the lead and have looked comfortable throughout this game. And Martin Delaney, the referee, just going in to have a word with his umpires to see what sparked that incident off. And
Quinn, I can't leave for 2 minutes and the whole thing goes up in the hay.
I know, yeah. Jesus Christ, Nicky. You have to help us out here. Seven points the difference. And Martin Delaney coming over to Jay Crispin and having a word with himself and Mark Lavin. But I don't think he's going to issue any cards. I think it's wise. I think it was 50-50 and Mark Lavin's jersey is showing the worse for wear. Anyway, James Dordan gets the ball and he's tugged back. Going to be a free down to the McBrides. Taken quickly. James Dordan gets the ball back. Gives a nice low ball in. Oh, just a rugby tackle there. And I think Martin Delaney may well take some issue here, or take some action here. That was a reckless sort of a tackle there by was it Jake Crispin? So Martin Delaney now just looking to see what he's going to do. Probably a yellow card, I would imagine, for Jake. Little bit over exuberance there, or over-exuberant.
What does that word mean, John?
I don't know. It's bigger than marmalade, anyways, Nicky. Oh
red
Jesus!
card for
Red
Jake.
card, straight red.
Oh no,
And
he must
Jake-
have got a yellow card from the
He might have been on a
Previous
yellow,
incident.
that I missed earlier on, but Jake.
The incident over, he must have got a yellow card for that.
Oh, it's a straight red. Straight red. Obviously, maybe a striking offence or something like that. But Jake is heading for the showers early. So the Tones are down now to 12 men, and that's not exactly what they needed. So free into the McBrides. Mike Kelly is going to take this, the veteran. Oh, and a great score by Mike Kelly. Great score, and the crowd reaction tells it all. The old veteran shows the young fellas how it's done. Mighty
Quinn,
score.
you should go on yourself there. An old
Yeah,
veteran of,
Yeah,
I don't know what
exactly.
you're a veteran
Of-
of, but
Of olden days, yeah. Of some of those great days with Tulsk. GA. God bless us. Out we come again. The Tones on the attack now as we get into the latter the latter stages of this first round championship tie between the McBrides and the Tones. Mike Kelly once again, but he's fouled, and that's the full time whistle. Martin Delaney calls time on the second senior championship game of the day, and it's a win for the McBrides on a scoreline of 4 goals and 15 points. 27 points to 3 goals and 10, which is 19. So an 8-point win for the McBrides, and a great game of football. Really well played by the McBrides, I must say. They were fantastic. They showed a lot of control. The Tones a little ring rusty. Probably needs a little bit of work. A couple extra players maybe to come in. But great performance by both teams, in fairness. Very entertaining, fair. And we're looking forward to next week once again for another round of games in the Chicago Senior Championship. So on that, we'll sign off, and just to give you a rundown of the games that's up and coming, next Thursday at 6:30 we've got the intermediate men's football. The McBrides and the Parnells are playing, and then this day week on Sunday, June 11th, we have at 11:30 intermediate football, the Parnells and the Pierces. We've got another intermediate game, the Tones and the Patriots, and then 4 o'clock we've got the seniors of the McBrides and the Parnells, and at 5:30 the Tones and the Pierces. So we've got a full programme again next Sunday, folks, and another game on Thursday. So tune in next Sunday for more chit chat and more entertainment. And before we go, I think Nicholas, do you want to say a couple of words before we leave?
That's coming for Sam. Carla for Talchin Cup.
Absolutely.
And Galway for the races.
I hope you're able to run faster than some of them horses I backed in Galway before, Nicky. Anyways, folks.
To me and I don't have a tail, but that's the difference. All right, folks, we'll see you. No, I won't see you because I'm banned off the airways.
We'll be back again next Sunday, folks, with the help of God. And
it's Glyn and Quinn, or Quinn and Glyn.
Yeah, there you go. What a
Fat
great,
and slim.
what a
That's
great,
it.